This is Limbury Park, Luton, on the 20th of March 2016. This is the whole meadow of grass that they dug up at the end of 2015 for a so-called Coronation meadow. They failed to remove any of the weeds. Helen Hoyle, who did the Wardown Park mini meadows for Sheffield University, said you had to clear weeds 3 times before you could plant wildflowers. The residents were furious, and they demanded at a meeting last October that this area should be put back to grass so that they could enjoy picnics and football as they had for generations. The 2 Labour councillors said they thought it was a good idea. However, Mike Garrett, who was the chair of the meeting, said it didn't matter what they thought. They were there to represent their constituencies, who obviously didn't want this messed up area. There was another meeting on March the 3rd, at which Barry Timms, head of parks, put forward proposals including the same earlier suggested compromise, i.e. to use half the meadow for the Coronation meadow. This had already been rejected on the grounds that the proportions of the remaining meadow, long and narrow, meant it would no longer be a meadow, rather merely a wide grass verge. Barry Timms stated that they did not know if the flowers would grow and would see what would happen. Helen Hoyle had told the people in Wardown Park that areas had to be treated 3 times before planting wildflower meadows. She said that was why there were so many weeds on Luton's wildflower roundabouts. Barry Timms suggested another consultation costing £3,000. This from a council which is always whining about shortage of money and ignores residents' wishes and their statutory duty like libraries. Labour councillor Jennifer Rowlands, Limbury, sought to keep the project alive by pushing another alternative, that of consulting all Limbury residents. This would have cost £3,000. However, apparently there was no funding for this, so it would have to be funded from the housing budget. Councillor Mike Garrett, who was chair of the meeting, said he was very angry, as at the last meeting it was made very clear that the residents demanded that the whole original grass meadow should be restored to its original grassy state, and he believed that this had been agreed. Councillor Garrett said that as the mood of all residents present clearly remained the same, he instructed the officers to carry out their wishes. Put it back as it was, he said. On March the 13th, Luton on Sunday printed an article by Carl Monganzi, "Campaigner's Victory as Meadow is Axed." I was amazed and delighted at this U-turn. Perhaps it's the sign of a sea change and residents will in future be shown some respect and given the services for which they pay. Luton residents knew that the council were a law unto themselves. Maybe other people now make their voices heard. I have struggled hard to get people involved and spent over £600 for leaflets, websites, computer help, Dropbox, etc. Even a parking fine when I was doing the petition. Do any of you have web, social media or filming skills which you could share? The council apparently agreed to harrow and roller this whole area. About time too. It's a pity, it's a wonder someone hasn't broken an ankle on it.